There's also another kind of revenue questions when they're asking for like an exact revenue. So in the previous example, we had like the revenue is equal to price times quantity. And we know that the price was 24 plus 3x, which means original price was 24, but every time we increase it by $3, normally we sell 600 copies, but then we would lose 20 copies sold to 20 clients for every $3 that we increase it, right? That was the price. Then we figured out that, okay, so the zeros were minus 8 and 30, the axis symmetry was 11, then we plugged it back in and we figured out that, hey, 57 was the new price, which we will sell 380, and that the revenue, the maximum revenue was 21,660, right? That was what we did last time. But what if they say, hey, what if they want to earn exactly $1,800? Now, I don't know why they would want to do that, but if they just need exactly that amount of money, is there only one opportunity or two opportunities? Well, let's look at the little graph. There's only one chance of making the maximum, which is right over there. But if I want to make $18,000, then there's going to be two choices, one there and one there. Choices for X. Does that make sense? I need to figure out $18,000 exactly. And now I'm going to either make it cheaper or make it more expensive. If I make it cheaper, I'll sell more quantity and get to 18,000. Or if I make it more expensive, it's less quantity that I'll sell, but I'll still get to 18,000. So how do we do this? Well, we're going to say that the revenue is going to be 1,800. We plug it in. And we don't know how to solve for this with something equal 18,000. So therefore, we're going to move it to the other side by subtracting 18,000 from both ends. However, we need to expand this so we can put it together. I've done this already. Please make sure that you remember how to expand this. It takes a little bit of skill. And as you can see, we get this new equation. 0 is equal to minus 60x squared plus 1320x minus 3600. Okay, so what? Well, let's find the zeros. It's equal 0, so we can factor or solve. I'm always like to factor out this number just to make things a little bit easier. And this is my new equation. So the equation I'm going to plug in quadratic formula into is going to be just this, where my A is 1, my B is minus 22, and my C is 60. If you need to stop the video at any time, please make sure that you understand that steps. Okay, so because it's equal to 0, now I want to make that go to 0. The minus 60 will not play a role. Plug it into quadratic formula. Again, it's already done. And I get those numbers. My minus 22, so it becomes plus 22. 22 squared, 1 is my A, 60 is my C. And I work it out, and I end up with this. 22 plus or minus root of 244. Make sure that you get that number. And everything divided by 2. When I plug that into my calculator, I get two answers. 855 and 13.45. What are those? What are those? Are those the prices? No, X was not the price. X was what goes here. So this guy needs to go here and there to figure out things, right? Now, the first part was the price. So if I just want the price, I just need to plug it into this equation. If I want to find out the quantity, then I need to plug it into this part of the equation in that second bracket. So since for this question, they just wanted to know the price, I'm going to forget about the rest. I'm just going to take this part, which is like the one that's going to give me the price. It's $24 to start with. I increase it by $3 times X. Now I found X. So let's see what this would be like. I realize that my X is 855 or 1345. I got that from my graph from before. But again, I'm looking for the price, so I'm going to plug it into the price function. On the left side, my first price was 24 plus 3 times 855. And on the right side, I'm going to say 24 plus 3, 1345. You might be tempted to average them and plug them back in. That's not what we do in this case, because we're not looking for the vertex. We're looking for zeros. We found the zeros already, 855 and 1345. And now we need to figure out what prices do they represent. So on the left one, 24 plus 3, 855, multiplied together is 4965. And on the right one, 24 plus 3 times 13.45 gives us 6435. So what are those two numbers? Oh, these are the numbers, and this will be my final answer, that if I charge 4965 or if I charge 6435, we will give a revenue of exactly $18,000. Now, it's not going to be exact because I just rounded those numbers, but it's going to be pretty darn close.